this is mounted on the wall, so it's more just
This is already planned, right? All 5.
Yeah. So you screw this into the on the wall and just no box, no box here. So you need just this is a proprietary cable of this system, which connects indoor. So this connects to a box that is to be mounted indoor. So if this is outdoor, maybe here for opening, then you need a hose. You need a hose in which you put this. Again, here you have waterproof cabling to connect this here, and then it gets where is it now? It gets somewhere of these devices. I don't know. So doesn't matter. So this is the interface cable from this. This is outdoor, basically wall mounted, and this is indoor mounted in this box. I think it's a bit weird. It's a box. I think it's. I don't know why they do it this way, but they do it this way. So that's obviously outside. That's inside them. So you see this frame from outside a bit, but you probably put this. We can put it wherever we want. I mean, we can put it even in the ceiling. Because this one, this has no power supply. This gets power supplied by the indoor unit, and this one has a 12-volt supply. The 12-volt supply comes from the e-cabinet. So I will have you will see in the plan there is a 12-volt voltage, and we just need to bring the 12 volt to this device, which gets powered by the 12 volt, which also powers this. This device communicates also. This is just for powering. This communicates via. I don't say anything wrong, but I'm pretty sure this also communicates via the radio network with the device. So we just need the 12-volt power. So it receives the command tuk 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 tuk. So the validation whether you are the right person authorized to open goes via radio frequency, same as this other lock I gave you. But this one also opens the door. So you have the bus interface to the outer unit indoor, so that there is no manipulation, because this is not a transparent signal. So by having access to this wire, nobody can open the door. This opens the door. This is in the inside. This is just a bus signal, which so this is not. When you have access to this, you cannot open the door. So you need to transmit the encoded signal of the RFID chip to this one. This one is powered 12 volt, and this one then switches something, as Sebi says something, because usually this one will operate the door. This one has a relay which would operate the door, but I don't do it this way. The way I do it is, I will connect this to the KNX bus. So I will not say open the door. I will say the KNX bus. Someone wants to open this door, and then something in the e-cabinet, another actuator will open the door. Why? Because then I can open the door as I want. I can open it with this one. I can open it with the mobile phone whatsoever. So but that's not your problem. So you only have to bring 12 volt to any of these indoor boxes, and with this 12 volt supply, this is powered. And in addition, we bring a KNX cable there. So, and I add one of these little small devices which I showed you last time, which we also use to operate a manual switch, to connect a manual switch. It is the same. It's just so whether you switch the door or you switch this KNX interface is exactly the same. So So each of these gets 12 volt plus a KNX cable, and it needs to be positioned somewhere indoor, basically in reach of this cable length of the outdoor unit. And we do it wherever we want. We can do it either we do it low at 30 centimeter, or we put it in the ceiling. Good also. So the ceiling maybe easier than just put it there. And because the KNX cable you have there, so then you don't have to go down with the cable. And it's not so beautiful to look at. So this works.
If you want some solution, maybe make the exit point or some exit point or
Yeah. Okay.
So we install it first before the ceiling.
Yeah, or you can have the exit point.
You just need to have, I mean, you can install it at the same point where you potentially install some of the transformers. So you want to have it accessible. So you just want to take it down and open it. So should it break or you want to analyze something.
Okay, not too many.
Yeah, then it has an app, so it's the Abus Labs lock. So you get here. So it's obviously not with this. So that would be main door some way. You open it. The system even can interface with the camera, which is affiliated with it. So I can open it. So here is I would have then 5 doors here. Here is just main subway. I open it. Now it cannot because it's not in the network, but it would show it. So I say failure. But if you can go to the entrance door, you can also affiliate it with the camera. So it would show you on the mobile phone the picture of who is in front of the lock remote, and you could also open it. By definition, so you add a hose here, a flexible hose or whatever hose, and by definition the water goes into the hose. So you should not seal it up here because then you cannot disassemble the cable anymore if something breaks. So the hose which you see here and connects here, by definition is water filled. Here not, because the box is water sealed with this device. So here water is in the tube. Don't screw this up, so then you cannot change the line anymore. This is fixed here and you cannot access it. So
pull off.
No. And here you leave an amount of cable in the box so that I can take the light out before you fix it with the screw here. You have to, otherwise you cannot fix the screw. So you keep it out. You fix the screw from the inside, and then you leave the remaining cable in. But then the box is waterproof. Here is different. Here you don't fix anything. You just make sure that the hose goes up and comes at some point over the water surface. So the water doesn't go down the other side. So that's the.
All the tube or the blue light
have to go out of the water. Here, in theory, not needed, but everything can break, so we don't want to take the risk. So all of these tubes should arrive at least a little bit above the water surface. And here, because here definitely the water goes up. So would you go directly down with this tube, then you have it in the e-cabinet.
We need to check how many meters of cable.
3. No, you cannot check anymore. You have this. We discussed this before.
Have 3, yeah.
So you have the connection point, and we don't wanna. Oh, you have to get. I think the big one has more. I think the big one has 5. I don't know how much this one has, but it's also take out the screw to see how much there is. So in particular with these ones, I mean, they are 1 meter 90 or whatever away from the border and a little bit down. So you just have to connect them.
I remember last time we were checking and we confirmed.
It's tight. So you have to go. Most likely you will have to have for each of these ones one connection point, because you cannot bring them together in one as there's not enough cable. You have 1 meter 90 here, maybe. No, sorry. They're on the wall. So the ones which are, you know, where the shallow water is, which are on the wall, you can connect several. This one you have less. You just have to see how much cable we have on the second one.
Trying to find the plan.
No, 3 meter. 3 meter here, and here we have also 3 meter. All have 3 meter. So here with these ones, you have this is the only one which is critical. The 6 big ones. So this one you can connect to 3 to 1, and maybe you can also combine this and this in one. So you have to calculate with the length of cable how many distribution boxes you need. And the next funny thing is the distribution boxes are probably where our 2 centimeter tile are. So we might put them, if this is working, you know, where the grill is, because the grill tiles, we should not even do it. We should just put on. So they are heavy, so you don't see. So that you could eventually have an installation box just below the last full tile on the side, because you can take the grill out and you can access from the side. If it's above it should be above the water there. Understand?
Yeah. What do you think for the junction box of the lights? The cable. We have a full gutter. We have a full edge.
I can design it.
This is swimming pool. We decide, for example, what the level is here. And then normally you put the junction box here. Can we put it here?
No, here. Because here is 2 centimeter tile. This is, the tile is 20, yeah? It's a thick tile. And, sorry, in here. And here is a gutter tile. It's a gutter tile. It's a gutter. So it's a tile that looks like that. So it's a tile that has this oval opening, yeah? So the water can go. We don't put the stone like the other. So, and this one can take out. Yeah. So we could have the box here. You know, because you can take this tile manually out, and you can access from this side here. And you don't see it from the top, and you know, from the side, I think it's even better protected than from the top.
What do you think?
We don't need it now. So, and now, as we should have power, we can make a first test, because it should have 24 volt. I could take, without taking Dahlia whatsoever in consideration, I could take a normal light, and say this is plus and minus, so we will do it the right direction. And if everything works, we should get light. But that's a self-made RGBW spot, a little one. I just connected the blue color for example. So you see, and that's a DALI converter. So it has, in this case, 24 in, which is the output of the regular transformer. That's a normal transformer. It gets 24 in. It gets out. So once you connect it, you can, same as here, you can ignore DALI. This is just an incremental option. So once I connect this to the DALI bus, and I have a switch that can switch it, I can switch this on now. I just have one switch with me because I programmed this for the full light. Just did the same. But that's what it is. So you could also connect the you could also connect the light. Where is it? Now the light is connected there too, but we could also, let's do the other exercise. You could take any other one. Let's take the green one. And I'm never sure about what is plus and minus here. It's the RGB. Let's try either direction is right or wrong. It's like that. Yeah. So now I connect the green one to the normal transformer, so it doesn't matter whether I use this or this, it just routes it through. The additional feature is that you can switch with this. I show you later. Okay, so.
These two boxes will be installed
in the cabinet. So you will not see them because, so you will only have, for the KNX, you will have I think 8 or 10 pins for 2 cables per floor, so that you have 2 lines in each floor. If something cut or whatever, you have 2, and then in the floor you distribute as you want. So you will not see this. You will just have 8 or 10 connection points for the 2 cables which go then to the floors, and then you distribute it as here on purpose chaotic as you want, as it's, you don't want to have some. It's a balance between length of cable and having some backup, so that when one cut, not everything go down. So when you have a damage, everything behind is gone. So you don't want to have all in series. So you want to have some. Usually you go then in the room with one cable, then you go in the floor, then you go with one cable in the room, and in the room you just distribute as you want. So it doesn't matter.
So this will be following then.
They can. I would suggest they make a proposal then. That you have, anyhow will make a line diagram on how and then I can have a look at it. It's fine, but it doesn't matter. Important is that someone is written down where the cable goes.
Yeah.
So if there's any issue, you find it. Yeah. So that's it. Now we just disregard this. Yeah, what I wanted to say, what an advantage you have here is you can go, I don't need one power transformer for each light group. You can go, if you have in one room, I don't know, 200 watt split in 4 light groups or 5 light groups, you can give me one with 200, and I put then the number of these ones in between. So as long as the total ampere is there, I'm fine. So I don't need one by one. Otherwise, we have too many of these devices. I could also use this one that is directly a DALI controller, but it's more expensive when you use for each light the transformer which transforms the 240 to the 24 and so on. Because a 200 watt mid-rail, which is more than sufficient for one room, even the living room, or maybe the unit 2, I don't know how much it costs, it's relatively cheap, while the DALI ones cost always double. So I prefer to use the DALI one with the low voltage, because then I can use the small ones, and this can still do 16 ampere. So this small one, 16 ampere times 24 volt is 300 watt. So I can control with this one 300 watt. I just need the inbound power with one or two of these ones, and then I sum this two. Because this one is 3 light group cost $60. So one light group cost me $20. This DALI control is relatively cheaper. It's more cheap than a dimmer when you buy dimming lights. Okay, having said that, let's now look into this. So this is also a DALI controller, but especially for the pool lighting. So that's that comes in the cabinet as well. So you don't have to care about this. So it's
branded in the same brand.
yeah, it's the same brand. So it's quite sophisticated. It can manual control, DMX control,
So what?
DMX. It can all kind of controls it can. So I could switch from DALI to DMX. But I don't use DMX. It's the only one they have, and they recommend to use it for the pools because they're very sensitive. So I don't want to take a risk here. They have a bit more expensive ones. So also here just connect this one. Here. So this is the plus. So the power is up right away. You see, so the device is up and running. Now I connected this one here. Here, now it's in DALI mode, but I can here switch into manual mode. Manual, and then for testing and whatever. And then I could say. It's red but then you say it's red and green is yellow, or then you say all 3 is white, then you say this is blue and green is turquoise, etc., etc. I mean, we don't have to go through all of the light options, particularly not manually, because you don't want to go to the cabinet to switch on your light. But it's just one mode you can operate. And now comes the interesting thing. So here's again the DALI. The DALI input here would be the KNX input to control the lights. We have a DALI bus, it's here. So we move over here. Then we connect this to the DALI bus. Better. So, and we go to DALI. Okay, and then we see whether it's working, because this button is programmed that it should switch the lights, and here it does. So basically, this here gives via KNX the commands to the DALI controller: switch on this light red. The DALI controller gives it to the device here digitally, and the device switches. And now you see here, this is a nice display. So you can say, now I want to do it like this, then now I want to reduce the red, it's dimmable. So now it's 80%, so and the lights react. Dark. You can do in this program you can make light shows, you can do whatever you want. So once it's controlled, you say all off, then it's all off, etc.
Nice.
Green, off, dark. And we have 4 light groups for the pool, so we will have 4 of these boxes in there, and it's then all the same. So you just connect more cables of the same, and then you say with one click, this one is green and this one is blue, and it changes all 5 minutes, or you can also synchronize it with your indoor lighting, because this and this is also the same as you have seen before. So I connected exactly to the same. So I can synchronize my pool lighting with my outdoor and my indoor lighting, and whatever it is. So and, yeah, that's all. I mean, that's the miracle here. These two simple boxes. With one of these, I can control the house. It has no, it cannot have 64 light groups. I can control this one.
This kit put inside the room, right?
This one.
Yeah.
This also. Yeah.
Near the cabinet, right?
Yeah, in the cabinet.
In the cabinet.
In the cabinet. So basically, you will in the cabinet have the patch fields on top where we patch the cables on. And directly underneath, you will have the KNX components. So there will be the power supply, the DALI gateway. That's another one, but we don't need now. That's a LAN interface. That's the interface to the LAN, to the LAN. So this allows to program the KNX bus via the laptop. So I could also now just connect it, connect this to a LAN, connect the laptop to the same LAN, and then I switch it on and off with the mobile phone or with the laptop. It's all the same. It's all digital. So this is the digital interface. It calls a IP gateway. It just translates an IP command into whatever KNX command you have a software for it.
Very big cabinet.
So the cabinet will be 2 meter times 1 meter 80.
Oh, 2 meter.
2 by 2.
2 by 2. So
okay.
We will ship it pre-configured with all of the KNX components, with all of the breakers, with all of these, as written in everything will come. So the only I show you later on the plan. The only thing you have to know is the patch field numbers which are on top. X1 times 15 is the cable which is the DALI cable which goes from here to the room number whatever 1, and then DALI is like KNX. You can go from here to here, from here to here. It's just you measure whether you have your 25, 30 volt, and you connect it. It works. I can also later on when we install, I can come. We use this and we go around and we just connect one and see whether it goes. It's relatively easy to track. The programming I can do before, so the components will be programmed. Maybe not tuned to the last detail, but that you can switch it on and off and you see whether it works in principle. You'll see. Yeah, that's it. So we have probably just 1 row of KNX components, maybe 2 rows, mainly switch actuators, which take most of the space in the cabinet. This is very little, as you see. We also, everything which is in this plan will be in the cabinet. And I provide them to get the patch field, or most likely there will be 2 lines of patch fields because of the connection points. And we just connect the cables there too, and we can now discuss on how we can optimize the amount of cables, so that we minimize it, because
this one we provide, right?
I would suggest that the standard transformer you provide, because you provide anyway, so that you bring it from high voltage to low voltage, and you can power the light with it. So you just can't switch because you don't care about the switches, because switching is happening this way. But you can the manual switch in between your transformer and the light switch. So that's a clean interface. So you don't depend on the installation of the light from my DALI system. You can do it with your 20 volt systems. I think that's the best way. And again, I would rather use few bigger ones to not have too many of these devices out there, because
after we know the number of lights.
So basically, you give me them. Ideally, I want to buy. Whenever you change something, I prefer having these clips. Then you can, because DALI transformers can break. So over time, some of them give up. These ones as well. So and then you want to change them. So I mean, how you connect your transformer, I don't care. But when I have to connect, 3 of these to your power supply, we should have any clip like this so that we can quickly disconnect it, because it's in the ceiling. You don't want that to screw around. I can also bring them. Do you have that here? This is Lago.
Yeah. I will use this brand as last project, but not same type, but same.
Similar.
Yeah.
The mechanism.
Yeah.
There are different ones. You just wanna. They are a bit more expensive. European brand, but they're very easy to use. I use them in my house everywhere. So basically, when you connect 3, I mean, you can then use a 5-1. No? So you just like I do now. So I connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise, you do 5 times 5 screws. So it's not fun. Yeah. That's it. So there are different kind of these switches. You can use a normal switch. You can do this. I have a bigger display you saw in Italy on the wall, but it's all the same, no matter what. You just pay a little bit more or less for the switches. And if you take it out here, you can even, when it's powered, you can take it on off as you want. And if you put it now here, it takes till it powers up, yeah, and now it works already. Yeah, it takes a little bit, but so that's the fun thing. So its installation is disconnected from the devices. That's and if you install this, you open this here and you do exactly the same right away. It's just have to be in the LAN, and so you get a lot of benefits then indirectly. So yeah, that's all for the lightning. Maybe we can have a look at the pool lights. There are 3 kinds. 1, 2. What is the third one? You had it. The small one. No? So let's start with the bigger ones. So all of these have this kind of boxes. So this hole we need in the pool wall. This is the big one. So this should be in line with the tiled pool wall. And then you just put this in. You have the hole should go upwards out. I think. And then for the expensive one, you have this waterproof device here, which you screw in, and then you can. That's by itself waterproof, so the water will not leak anymore. So the cable is squeezed into it.
Very helpful.
So because the box itself is supposed to be water filled, so through these holes, it's for cooling of the lamp. The box is water filled, and you just need to make sure that it's sealed on the output, that it doesn't damage the structure.
So through these holes, the water will stay inside the box. And with this thing, it should be blocked here. It just doesn't go anywhere.
Just put this in. Those screws will just fix keep the pool, fix the pool down. So, and I think they have here some mechanism that's used to to fix the. If you want to fix, you don't have to, but you could in theory. So that's meant for installing the house before you pour the pool. So you could make any structure behind where you just fix the box, and then you just pull it around. That's the recommendation of the manufacturer. So that you first install with whatever auxiliary structure the box, and then you just pour it in, and it's waterproof. And then you the other way, you do it your way, and then you probably don't need this. Yeah. that's this. So this one is the same. This is the 6 smaller ones we have on the side wall below the water, the one. And I think one is on the jacuzzi. So there's 6 of these, one of these, and I think I don't know many of these. This is different. So this is cheaper. One costs 100.
The sickness. But in order that it's not enough. Same as on the drawings before we send the design. This you think that it's not the same size as on the drawing?
Right. This is the one big one. This is the one next to the pool bar.
The box that you put when we pour the concrete.
Too small?
But the depth is the same as in the file. We have the file in the drawing. It's the same. Different.
I don't like it. So, and we also power this one at the same time. This one. So, you should have a ground cable also, but we disregard here. Because it's not grounded anyway. So, right now, in the house you do grounding, huh? Yeah. I hear a lot of stories.
Yes, many
they
houses.
forget it.
Many houses in Samui don't have grounding.
So, do we have a third one? Yes. Here I have just a, this is a, in this case it is a DALI transformer, but I disregard the DALI. So this is a normal 75 watt mean well transformer, which has input, here is input 230, 100 to 240, and output 24. So that's the only what I use. The DALI I disregard. I could use it for DALI, but I just want to show you how it works with a normal transformer. Because you can install all of your lighting system and put your regular 220 to 24 transformer as you would use in a normal standard installation. My DALI control will come thereafter. Because I will take your 24, add another transformer I show you later, and connect behind the DALI line. So that gives a clear interface, because you can, with your tools, with your devices, measure whether the light works or not. And you just put a temporary switch in it. So we power also this one. Should I power this? Where is the, let me just see where my light is. Yeah, right here, so I can power this in addition. We put this here. And this here. Right at the end. So now,
Last job you do DALI light on that, so you also need to join to.
so now we give this a little power. We see it's powering up. Huh? It's powering up. It's already there. Go in.
The one we use is not so heavy yet.
So maybe before I connect everything, because I want to do it step by step, that you see everything. This here is a KNX power supply. So this is the power supply unit which powers the KNX bus. This is a DALI controller. So the KNX bus has 230 volt in, normal power in, and it has the bus cable out. So that's the typical KNX cable, and I just connect them as you want, so you can connect them in which way you want, and then you just connect basically any switch. There's a switch which comes to the wall. You can connect it wherever you want. You can put it here, you can put it here. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So basically,
How do you, on the wall, how do you put it? Just
it has one of these boxes which I sent you. This big one.
Okay.
And then it just gets, it has a frame, and then you pick it into the frame. So that's trivial. But technically, installation-wise, they just put around this green cable, and I just randomly, I just say I go from here to here, from here to here, boom, 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 boom. You can do it whatever way you want, and no matter whether this is a humidity sensor, a wind sensor, a switch, every KNX device is just clicked in here. So where's the correct one? Is it like that? No, other way around, so this way. So put it in, and then it, so this device is obviously already programmed. Once it gets the bus power, the 24 to 30 volt, it works, and does what it is programmed for. But you can take it off and put it to any other. So all of these KNX nodes are equal. And you just need power. Each device in average consumes 10 milliampere. 10 milliampere. So you need to design the, but I do. We need to design the power supply that it has number of nodes times 10 milliampere. So that's the only restriction. Otherwise, you can put them in any way you want. You can also, once you measure here the 24 to 30 volt, it should work. So that's a very simple mechanism. So this pins I bring. So it's very cheap. Yeah, so that's it. So what I do now. That's DALI. Let's go to this. The DALI is the interface between the KNX world and the DALI world. So it has a power supply like this here, 230 volt. That's the powering of the DALI gateway itself. And then it's connected on the one side to the KNX bus. So it receives commands via the KNX. And it issues commands in DALI. So all of the DALI cables we should have, the same color. It's a two-wire bus, like KNX. In this case, I use red and orange. Whatever is red and orange is DALI. It's again a 24 to 30 volt bus signal which it gives out. But it's a different bus. So we have two buses in the house: the KNX bus and the DALI bus. And the interface between the two is this one. And yeah, now we power up the buses. So I have here my power, so I put first the KNX power supply in. Oops, these plugs are easier because I don't have to screw. You probably will screw.